Hi, this is Chanel. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk to you about having conversations with manipulative people, okay? And people who I want to talk about people who are easily manipulated in conversations, okay? So who are those who are easily manipulated in conversations? So when a person is talking, okay, there are three reasons why a person will speak, okay? One is to entertain, okay? So when a person is speaking, ask yourself, is this an entertaining conversation? Second is inform. Are they informing me about something? Three is persuade. Are they trying to persuade me to do something or to believe something or whatever the case may be, okay? So entertain, inform, and persuade are the three reasons why speakers speak, okay? I started this YouTube channel to inform, okay? And so that's one. Okay, two, another thing you need to pay attention to is who the targeted audience is, okay? So who is there, or who is the targeted audience, or is there a targeted audience, okay? Three is anyone excluded from this conversation, especially if this is a conversation where someone is trying to either inform or persuade, okay? Is anyone excluded from this conversation? Is everyone included, or is anyone excluded, okay? One thing I've noticed about manipulative people is that, one, they exclude often. They do not include everyone in the conversation who should be involved in it. I don't know why the lighting changed. But anyway, everyone who should be included in the conversation oftentimes is not included in the conversation when you're dealing with a manipulative person. Now, the reason they exclude certain people or parties from the conversation is because they want control of the conversation, okay? Oftentimes they want to either add or exclude information, okay? With the purposes of persuading the audience to believe them, okay? So there is often exclusion and exclusion of parties, and also exclusion of information. Sometimes more information is added that shouldn't be there. However, it's important to know, like I said, why a person is speaking, okay? Pay attention to who the audience is, and ask yourself whether or not everyone who is included in that conversation is there, okay, to participate in that conversation. Okay, a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times there is exclusion when you're dealing with a manipulative person, okay? And so everyone who is involved in that conversation will not be there, okay, purposefully. And so, like I said, that's one thing to pay attention to, okay? Like I said, that is a way for a person to manipulate a mind and maybe manipulate an outcome regarding that conversation, okay, is exclusion, okay? Again, when they're trying to persuade, all right? Inform. So when a person is is speaking to inform, and I think I've said this already, but like I said, I started this YouTube channel to pass along information that I feel is important. Okay. And my channel is open to anyone. If I were to be invited to speak with someone, you know, whether it be a panel or whatever the case may be, a group, I would not exclude anyone, even if they had a different opinion. Okay. And this is something that I really want to talk about. I've noticed that a lot of people who have a specific opinion about different subject matters or whatever the case may be are adamant about not being open to speaking with people who have a different viewpoint. Okay. And I think it's very closed-minded. I think it shows how small your mind is when you're not willing to have a conversation with someone who has a different viewpoint. Okay. Because of, and I think a lot of times it's because of ego. Sometimes it can be for reasons of wanting to control a situation. However, I think it's very, it shows how small your mind is when you're not willing, or when you only want to speak with people or have conversations with people who agree with you. Okay. Because anyway, 9 times out of 10 people like that are either closed-minded or they're doing it because they want to have control over the conversation. Okay. So if I would just encourage you to, you know, if someone comes to you with, you know, with the conversation in mind, ask yourself what the purpose is, or ask them. Okay. But figure out what the purpose is. Are they talking to you to entertain? Are they talking to you to inform you about something, or are they talking to you to persuade? And sometimes it can be a little tricky to know whether or not, depending on who it is, because some people are not blunt about why they come and try to put words in your ear. Okay. But ask yourself whether they're trying to inform you about something, to persuade you to do something, or persuade you to think a certain way. And in entertaining conversation, that's it's not difficult at all to figure out, that out. Okay. However, like I said, ask yourself, or ask the person or people you're speaking with, why they are telling you what they're telling you. Okay. Why are you their audience? Okay. Ask yourself why you are their targeted audience. Okay. And is everybody is everyone who's included in that conversation, are they there as well to give information? All right. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you got something out of it. Feel free to comment if you would like, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.